I'm sure you've all heard of parking games before. They're like littered all across the Play Store. Some of them are about parking and others aren't. So I gathered some games here just to show you how weird all of them are. So the first one is Dr. Parking 4. I don't know why you need 4 different games about parking, but okay, I guess. And literally when you get in the game, this is the first thing you see. There's this basic car with the menu. I tried to see the other options they had. There was nothing, so that was weird. When you click start, there's 3 different modes for the size of car you have. The other 2 were locked since I just started. But what I didn't know was that this was an online competitive mode. I legit didn't know ranked parking existed until now. The opponent ran though, and I ended up winning. They must have been scared of me. I get it. And then immediately after, I got an ad for this game called Highway Overtake. And bro was customizing his car mid-drive. Say what you want about this game, but you can't do this in Need for Speed. I managed to find the single player mode and got to the first level. And I'm not gonna lie, this one's a bit of a doozy. There's a high chance this level has a 99% fail rate. Before I started though, this guy in a polo shirt and a cop hat started talking to me. This is a devious fit, to be honest. You can tell this guy's weird, not only because he has a t-shirt under his polo, but because his mustache and beard is green. He then taught me the incredibly complex interface, like the gas pedal and the brakes. After that Yapperoni pizza, I finally completed the first level. I got 1 star though, which is crazy. The second level didn't really have much, neither did the third, and I totally didn't struggle at all. I then got another ad for another quote-unquote parking game. Brother, if you're gonna show off your crappy graphics, you could have at least used the M5. I then did some more basic levels with different map patterns, but then, after all of that dullness, I got a factor ad. Bro, what is that tiny steak? I could grip that with my palm. No, hold on, I'm gonna try to find that real quick. So it was the one with the steak and peppers. I don't know if they have that one on here right now. These pictures are also very bright. Ah, here it is. Oh, I'm sorry, it's filet mignon. How much is this? Is there like an individual price for this thing? Because I feel like something like this would be like $50 a week. Do I have to log in to see the pricing? Dude, I'm not doing that. I could devour this in 1 bite though. Claim offer? Eat my balls. Remember when companies used to advertise their products themselves? I get it though, cause I wouldn't want to explain why something that small is so expensive. Food ads aside, I just got more levels pretty much. A lot of them weren't really difficult, they were just different, which is understandable. There's only so much you can do with parking. I got a little curious though and wanted to see what happens when you crash. Oh, that was very anticlimactic. I went to the car shop and it's like weird. Instead of buying a specific car, you just pay money and they give you a random one. There's even this weird guy asking me, would you like to buy car XO? No, I don't want a kiss or a hug. I spun the chest and got a basic large car, and then all of a sudden a lot more options were available. Very strange to say the least. And what's a mobile game without microtransactions? They're not bad though. I just don't see why anyone would want to buy something from this game. All in all, this game sucked. It was boring, basic, and not fun. As it is with a game about a boring, basic, and not fun task. It seems that Dr. Driver needs to have their degree revoked. But don't worry, this next one is better. This one's awesome. This one is pro. This one's called Car Parking Pro, and this one starts off with a consent notice. I didn't know parking games can go gorilla mode, but like I said, this game is pro, so you're able to put in your name and sex. What's my sex? Twice a day. There's 3 game modes, but I can only choose career. But it had everything you would expect from a parking game. There was something interesting on my driver license though. And from what it shows, I can only assume that I'm not only able to park cars, but buses, trailers, and trucks as well. It does absolutely nothing in terms of intriguing me, but it is kind of interesting. And as I assumed, this game is just like the previous one. Just the same old boring objective with random layouts. It also doesn't help that most of the cars in each level are the same. Like there's no creativity behind it, it's just let's make a parking game. And sometimes their placements make no sense, Like, what is this bus doing here? After slogging through the levels, I eventually completed the season and unlocked D-class cars. And while some of the selections are kinda nice, what does this have to do with parking? Do I really need an M3 with a weird exhaust layout to park? And the names for these just suck. Like, why is the Super called Viper? It honestly would have been cooler if you just named it Soup. But yeah, even with a better car, nothing really changed. It was still boring. There was this one level though that was outrageously difficult. There was this parallel parking level where I had to slowly insert myself between two cars. But this level was unnecessarily difficult. I had to slowly and continuously back in and out, and when I eventually beat it, I wasn't even parked correctly. It's like they knew it was dumb, but they just wanted to do it anyway. And then I also noticed that there's a gas meter. Like, why? This doesn't really add any fun to the game. You're just making me have to complete the level quicker. If the objective of a parking game is to park as quick as possible, then that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I then got a chime ad. Amazing. 1 out of 10. There was nothing pro about this at all. This next game's a little interesting though. It's called Valet Master Car Parking. It's not the average parking game where you get a stupid economy car, park it, then money. This game is about achieving the American dream. You start off as a humble valet person. I mean, just look at this guy. I could choke him. Oh look, it's a puppy. I have a one-time offer to adopt him. I'd be cruel if I said no. Anyways, the gameplay is pretty simple. You take other people's cars and park them, and as you get more money, you can buy more parking spaces. There was a point where I attempted to whip this hoe, but I ended up crashing it. It must have not been that bad though, since the customers didn't really notice it. But yeah, the game's pretty simple. You take cars, park them, get money, get more parking spaces, repeat. I did find it weird that the only place in this game is a fashion store. Like, where are the other establishments? You didn't get this car to thin air, did you? Did you? I was hustling like crazy. I even got my net worth to over a whopping $1,000. Now you could hire employees to park more cars for you, but for me, they just impede the grind. This is the only game about parking that I've enjoyed so far. Oh, and the dog came back. Wait, I thought that was a one-time offer. So you gotta look at parking games that had parking in it, but what about parking games that aren't about parking at all? So this first one is called Car Parking Driving School. Dude, what a goofy name. Hey bro, are you ready to hop on car parking driving school when you get home? Yeah bro, I love car parking driving school. If I ever hear one of you say car parking driving school is your childhood, I will beat you to death with a baseball bat. So no joke, the first thing I get in the game is a pop-up ad for a microtransaction, and it's $5 a week? I would have slapped the piss out of who thought this was a good idea. A parking game for $5 a week. Even the dumbest of kids will go, whoa, $5 a week? That's like 3 fun dips. And man, the value, priceless. A car, currency, access to exclusive cars, a badge, even more currency upon renewal, exclusive drivers like this one guy with a hat and an Arab dude, no ads, and more access to other things and loot. Amaranth's biggest simps could not see the value in this. Darkside, I spent 40 grand on a WWE mobile game. Phil would see this as stupid. Absolutely shameless. The game's probably trash too. So the game technically has parking, but it also has other game modes, which is really interesting because the game isn't called Car Open World Driving School or Car Multiplayer Driving School. And then Road Signs is its own mode. Like, what? Very similar layout to the other games. Drive, maybe turn, stop. You know, the usual. What I did find interesting was that these cars were modded for some reason. Like, I don't know why I need a Fiat 500 that pops and bangs to park, but okay. After a couple more crappy levels, I get to this one where I'm supposed to go to a police checkpoint for a routine car inspection. I'm just struggling to find the meaning behind this. I even tried to see what would happen if I sped off, but I got hit by an invisible wall. It feels like they're grasping at straws to try to make this concept interesting. The car selection ain't half bad. It's a shame the graphics suck absolute elk chode, but there's a decent amount. Some cars cost real money, in which, again, I don't get it. It's a game about parking. I'm not even sure why supercars are here. What's the difference between parking a supercar and parking an economy car? This just feels like a stupid cash grab. Too bad anybody with a functioning human brain isn't gonna fall for it though. There is one car, however, that you can get completely free, and it's the best car in the game, and that's the Camaro Interceptor. The way you get it is to complete every single parking level, all 60 of them, and I don't know why, but I did it. Every single level after the next. They went from simple to just outright unfair. And I mean that as in the levels were poorly constructed. Not only do they not give you enough time, but they increase the amount of crashes they allow. Like they expect you to crash more. Maybe I wouldn't crash more if I wasn't given 30 seconds to complete a level. Like there was this one level specifically where the parking space was just absurd. Like I had to drift, not too much, but enough to where I could make it in that small spot with this big SUV with like no handling. That level alone took me like 4 hours. But after all of that, I finally unlocked the car, and it did absolutely nothing for me. I took it out for a spin on the open world servers, but other people had it as well, so I didn't feel special. I'm going to cope and say that they hacked the game though, so I can feel better about myself. It is fast though, but if this is the best car in the game, I don't see why you would want to buy the other ones, especially if you can get this one for free. On top of that, the game is boring and it turned my phone into a toaster. The next one is called Car Parking Multiplayer, which didn't seem to be all that terrible in the beginning. There were plenty of decently priced cars, and you could even drive it around your garage. This game also technically had parking, but again, I don't think it was a priority. I don't get why you don't just make this a racing game with parking as a mini game. The parking levels it had though was insane. Not only were there multiple different types with different vehicles, but there were 3 seasons in total. That is a lot of parking. This one was pretty basic as well, except that you could do donuts pretty easily and even hit a pedestrian. It doesn't kill them though, if any of you were wondering. The cars were cool, but the levels were just flat out boring. All it really is just giving you a different space to park in every single time, which gets old pretty quickly once you play quite a few of these. Plus the graphics suck absolute butt cheeks. I mean, the other cars look like they're made out of Play-Doh. The car sounds are actually realistic though, so that was surprising. I also tried the racing mode, but my car had no handling whatsoever. You could also get out of the car too. I don't know the relevancy of getting to do this, but you can. I don't know, parking games are so confusing. I don't get why people like them. Like sure, maybe you could say the puzzle aspect, but I feel like there are other games that do that way better. This just feels meaningless. It's like cooking a burger and then throwing it away. But not because you suck at cooking, but because you willingly use expired beef. I don't know, this just doesn't make any sense. Just leave. Leave the video.